just talking to Cam, and he said that this game, a lot of it's going to come down to the secondary, just because of how quickly Stafford gets rid of the ball, and it's not going to be a big night for the defensive line per se. How do you see things?
No, I think it is always everybody. I think that is a big portion of it, just because they can do so much in the passing game with the dynamic weapons that they have. Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, both have been highly productive receivers, and their running backs catching the ball out of the backfield, as well as capable tight ends, and Stafford being a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So they certainly can stretch the field and they can get the ball out quick, but it's always all three levels. They have a tremendous rushing attack, and so that requires the front seven to really be on their P's and Q's. And as our coverage game, gets in those windows, we need to be able to have our front be able to get out to the quarterback.
I know guys like Drew and Tom, like the way that they kind of aged made it look better, or look like it's easy to grow as a quarterback. But like with Stafford and how long he's been in the league, like what has allowed him to like sustain the success that he's had?
I think just being able to use that experience and turn it into execution. Sometimes you get older in the game and you don't necessarily allow that knowledge and experience to take your play to another level, but he's used that experience to his advantage. And I think whatever he's done is, in terms of training and protecting his arm strength and his accuracy, he just continues to maintain a high level of arm strength, and he just continues to get, make throws that, not all quarterbacks can make. And so I think when you have that knowledge and you're able to maintain your talent, it just allows you to be a great player, which he is.
Demario, what's it been like watching Stallberg kind of carve out a role for himself? I don't think he played a defensive snap last year, and he's kind of playing on those third down packages.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Isaiah. He just continues to get better and better. I think coming in and transitioning to linebacker with a defensive back background, it lends itself well to playing fast, being able to cover guys, but being able to be an all-around backer and, have productivity as a blitzer, being able to stop runs and to continue to show up in a way that coaches feel comfortable, putting you in. I think he's one of our leading special team players, and he's been highly productive when he put in the game on defense, and I think he just continues to ascend. And I think when you look at him, we share lockers, side by side. And as a year 14 guy, I think I'm impressed mostly just with his maturity, his maturity level. He's definitely, mindset-wise, a lot older than he is, in terms of experience and his age. But I think that lends itself to him being a real pro, and I think that's going to continue to go well for him.
What led to changing hair?
What's that?
What led to the different hair?
I just think that's one of the beautiful things about having locks, is that you can do a lot of different things, and it's just something different.
The goal line stands last week. What do you think that said about the defense?
I think it says a lot. I think it says a lot just about the culture here. When you're a 1-6 team and you're fighting, every week, when you're able to go out there and put, goal back-to-back goal line stands like that together, or one should have been, it just talks about the resiliency of the team and the fight that's there. And I think that's what we have in this locker room. You'll never have to worry about a team that's not going to give you its best. It's going to give you everything it's got, for 4 quarters. And what was exciting was, I didn't realize it at the time, but all 9 of those plays were inside the 1-yard line. Mm-hmm. And so I think that talks about the pride, the heart, and it really shows you what standard of excellence really is, and where we're trying to get to, and why we believe so confidently in where we can go. And when we're not producing at that level, we're disappointed, because that's what we want to put out, because we know we can. That wasn't a fluke. That's who we are when we're at our best.
Chris and Alvin have said that the front office has come to them regarding the trade deadline to see what they want to do. Have they had similar conversations?
No. I haven't had no conversations with nobody. I'm just always trying to be the best player that I can be and focus in on my job. I think when you get into all of that, that goes into the business side, and at the end of the day, I'm a middle linebacker. I'm just trying to be the best middle linebacker that I can be. I'm enjoying the season. I'm enjoying the culture, even though we're not getting the results that we want to as a team. I think individually, I'm having one of my most productive seasons, and I think it's a large part to the environment that I'm in. I think we have excellent leadership in Kellen Moore. He always talks about tough, together, and joy. I think we'll continue to put toughness, on tape. I think when you look at that goal line stand, that represents a team that's remaining together in the midst of adversity. And then just joy. Like, you could be on a 1-7 team and it's just like, man, how fast can the season be over? But it's continued joy to come in to work every day and find ways to get better. And I think that's reflective of the culture. I can never say enough good things about Coach Staley. And how even in year 14, he's continuing to open my mind up to new things as a defensive player, and I feel like I'm growing. And that's what's lending itself to me having one of my most productive seasons, or especially one of the most productive starts that I've had in my career.
And obviously, you haven't had to have those conversations because you've already expressed to Nikki or whoever that you want to be here.
I mean, I've had a blessed career here. It's been, everything I could ask for and imagine in terms of a team to be on. I've been able to help the team, and this team has helped my career. This city means so much to me and my family, and I think when you're blessed and you understand that, you're grateful for every moment that you have. But at the end of the day, it is a business, and you have to be aware of that. And at the end of the day, my mindset is always control what you can control. And when decisions and stuff like that come up, I think so much of that is outside of our control as players. And so what I'm doing is controlling what I can control, and that's to my attitude and the way that I show up each and every day. And I love where we are right now, though I don't like the situation and the results. I'll continue to say, but I feel like I'm a person that's built for adversity, because when I was in college, one of the signs that was on my locker was you learn a lot about a person and how they win, but you learn all about a person and how they lose. And I think these type of seasons is where your character gets to reflect the most. And if I wasn't here, I wouldn't be having this opportunity. And so that's why I'm grateful to be where I am.
Now, do those bonds outweigh the desire to go try and chase a ring somewhere, or if you were traded to a contender, you're not tempted by that per se?
Yeah, I don't really deal with a lot of hypotheticals.
Right.
That's not something that's my reality right now. So I deal with what's in front of me, and that's what my mindset is on, controlling what I can control. And right now, that's focusing on, we got the Rams this week. How can I continue to be a better player, help my team, find a way to get a win? And that's where my mindset is, and that's what's inside my control. And if something was to happen that's outside my control, then I have to deal with that. But I don't deal with stuff that's not there. That only builds anxiety, worry, and I ain't trying to have none of that.
With the kind of rotation of Stallbird and Stutzman next to you along with Pete, how does that impact your kind of role or responsibility at all, just as a leader in that room?
Man, I love being a leader in the linebacker room. I think in my time with the Saints, I've played beside so many linebackers who've either been high producers or gone on to be high producers. At the time that I came in, I was playing beside A.J. Klein, Manti Te'o, Alex Anzalone, and then throughout that tenure, so I played beside Zach Bond, who's gone on to have a tremendous career, Caden Ellis, who's flourishing, Alex, as I said, who's flourishing. I played by Quan Alexander, who some team need to go snatch him up because I trained with him off season. He's still a baller. So I played with a lot of guys and beside a lot of guys, and I think that's part of my job, is to continue to be consistent, that they step into something and able to grow and flourish as a player. Pete has been highly productive in his time here. I think Danny and Isaiah have potential to become really good linebackers in this league. So the only way they're going to get a chance to become that is if they're able to get time on the field. And so I take pride in being consistent and having guys kind of step into those roles beside me, and hopefully they're able to learn how to play the position at a high level and know what it takes. And everybody that has played beside me and have gone on, for the most part, have flourished. And so I take a lot of pride in that. You know, like you always hear about coaches' trees. You know, it's like the coaches who coached underneath other guys. But look at that linebacker tree. It's pretty extensive. I'd be willing to put that resume up against anybody.